You are 34 years old. You live in Youngstown, Ohio. You install heating and cooling systems for a company with 11 employees, and you make $52,000 a year before taxes. After the mortgage, daycare, and a 2014 Silverado with 190,000 miles on it, you have about $400 left at the end of every month. In March, you buy a foreclosed house on Cranberry Street for $41,000. 2 bedrooms, bad roof, nobody else bid on it. Your father was a contractor for 31 years. He rebuilt half the kitchens on the east side of this city. He died in a rented apartment above a laundromat. You are the first person in your family to own a house. It is 2:15 on a Saturday afternoon in April. Your wife is at work. Your son is at her mother's. You are alone in the kitchen with a sledgehammer, taking down the wall between the kitchen and the back room. The third swing goes through the drywall and stops against something soft. You pull the drywall back with your hands. Inside the wall cavity, stacked from the floor to the height of your shoulder, are bundles of $100 bills in rubber bands. You count them on the kitchen floor. Then you count them again. Then you sit down against the cabinet and count them a third time. $812,000. Level 1. The silence.
You do not call your wife. You do not call your brother. You do not take a photograph. You go out to the truck, get the duffel bag you use for tools, come back inside and fill it. 47 bundles. It takes you 9 minutes. The bag does not close all the way. You put it behind the seat of the Silverado. You hang plastic sheeting over the open wall. You sweep the drywall dust into a contractor bag, like you did nothing else that day. Dana gets home at 7. She asks how the demo went. You say the wall came down easy. That is the first lie. You will tell about 200 more. Level 2. The lawyer. Monday morning you call in sick for the first time in 4 years. You drive downtown to a small law office above an insurance agency. The sign says Reyes and Associates. There are no associates. Mr. Reyes is 67. He has been practicing property law in this county since 1986. You tell him you found something in a house. He asks how much. You tell him. He puts his pen down. He says, "Do you want to know what the law says, or do you want to know what actually happens to people who find money in walls?" You tell him both.
He explains it. In Ohio, cash found inside a structure is not automatically yours. It belongs to the person who put it there, or to their estate. If nobody claims it after a statutory period, it can come to you, but the clock only starts if you report it. He says the other thing quieter. If you spend it and someone comes forward later, it is not a civil problem anymore. It is theft. You pay him $2,500. He tells you to go home and touch nothing. Level 3. The dead man. You spend a week at the county recorder's office. A clerk named Patricia pulls the file for you twice. The house on Cranberry Street was bought in 1974 by a man named Walter Hoyt. He worked 41 years at the sheet metal plant on Poland Avenue. He never married. He had no children. He died in the front bedroom in 2019. He was 91 years old. The bank bans on the money are from a savings and loan that closed in 1998. Some of the bills are older than you are. He was putting it in that wall for 40 years. A little at a time. Cash from a job that paid in checks. Patricia asks you why you want the file. You tell her you are researching the house. She says that is nice. She says most people don't care who was there before. Level 4. The first spend. 6 weeks in, Mr. Reyes has filed the report. Nobody has come forward. The waiting period is a year. You are not supposed to spend $1 of it. Your transmission goes out on a Tuesday. The shop quotes you $3,200 and you have $1,100 in the account. You take 4 bundles out of the duffel bag. You pay cash. You tell Dana the shop gave you a payment plan. It is $9,400 total once you pay off what was left on the truck, because once you are standing at the counter with cash, you might as well finish it. Nothing happens. Nobody knocks. Nobody calls. That is worse than getting caught, because now you know you can. Level 5. The bag. 11 days later, Dana goes out to the truck to get the car seat and finds the duffel bag behind the seat. She does not scream. She does not cry. She carries it into the kitchen, puts it on the table, and sits down across from it. When you come in, she says one thing. How long? You tell her, 71 days. She says, I have been picking up doubles at the hospital since March. You explain the law, the waiting period, Mr. Reyes, the report. You explain that you were protecting her, that if she did not know, then she could not be liable.
She listens to all of it. Then she says the sentence you will think about for the next 2 years. You didn't do it to protect me. You did it because you didn't want to hear what I'd say. She is right. You do not tell her that. Level 7. The nephew. In September, a man knocks on the door of the house on Cranberry Street. You are laying tile in the back room. He is in his 50s. He is wearing a windbreaker with a plumbing company logo on it. He says his name is Ray Hoyt. He says Walter was his uncle. You already know what he is going to say. He says it anyway. He told me about that wall in 2004. I thought he was losing it. He is not angry. That is the part that frightens you. He is calm and he is prepared, and he has a folder in his hand. He was never notified of the foreclosure. He was in Arizona. He can prove he is the only living relative. He has already talked to a lawyer of his own. He says, I'm not trying to take your house. He does not have to. He just has to prove he is Walter's estate. Level 7. The split. It takes 7 months, 2 lawyers, 1 mediator, a room above a bank on Federal Street, with a table too big for 4 people.
Ray has a real claim and a weak one at the same time. He is the heir. But the estate was closed, the house was legally sold. Mr. Reyes says a judge could go either direction, and it would cost both of you $60,000 to find out. You settle. Ray takes $320,000. You keep the rest. After the settlement, after Reyes, after federal and state tax on found property, you are left with $284,000. Ray shakes your hand in the parking lot. He tells you he is sorry about how it went. He says Walter was a hard man and nobody visited him, and he does not know why he is surprised about the wall. He is the only person in this entire story who says something kind to you. Level 8. What it cost. You finish the house. You do the roof, the kitchen, the wiring. You do it yourself over 14 months of weekends, because you are still an HVAC tech making $52,000 a year, and that has not changed. You put $180,000 into a college account for your son. You pay off the house. You put the rest in an index fund, because Mr. Reyes told you to, and you have stopped arguing with him. Dana still lives here. You are still married. It took a year, and it is not the same. She does not bring up the 71 days. That is the problem. It sits in the room the way the bag sat on the table. Your son is 8 now. He has a bedroom in a house his family owns, which is more than your father ever had, and that was supposed to mean something. You still have the piece of drywall you pulled out of that wall. It is in the garage behind the water heater. You have never told anyone why you kept it. Walter Hoyt worked 41 years and put $800,000 inside a wall of a house nobody visited. He did not do it to hide it from the government. There was no reason to. It was cash from side work in a city where nobody was looking. He hid it from the people who might have come to the door. The architecture of wealth is that everything you keep, you have to keep from somebody. Walter kept it from everybody. And it worked, right up until a stranger with a sledgehammer swung at the wrong wall. Subscribe if you want to know what comes next.